Hi, my name is Aya. You're watching Aya Reads, and I'm here to do my July TBR. So I have a couple ideas for videos, but I'm slumping a little bit, so I'm not sure if I can get to all of them. So as usual, I'm gonna do the TBR jar, but I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of other books on the side. So this might be a shorter video. Maybe I'll pick 6 challenges this time instead of 5. We'll see. The reason I'm slumping is kind of because, so right now it's the European Cup for football or soccer for the American viewers, and I'm just obsessed at the moment. I don't know why. I normally don't watch any sports except when there's a European Cup or World Cup, and then I get obsessed. So it's all or nothing, I guess. So let's start picking challenges. Read a fantasy romance. I think I know which one I'm gonna go with. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. So I'm actually currently reading it, but I'm on page 98, so not that far in. Like 1/5 of the way through, I'm pretty sure. Since I'm slumping, I'm not that into it at the moment, but I've heard so many good things about it and I really want to read it. Basically, this is about a girl who works for a rebel group and then she gets connected to a guy from another rebel group and it's going to be their romance. So far in the first 100 pages, I don't feel like a lot has happened yet. I'm kind of bored a little bit. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's because of the book or because of my reading slump. Not, obviously, like I said, I'm not sure. But I think, and I'm kind of slowly reading it, like I'm reading it alongside other books. And I feel like this book is better if I just like read big chunks of it at a time. So I think in July, I'm definitely going to be prioritizing it and trying to read as much as I can, try and finish this book. This has, obviously, it has dragons, and it's a pretty dense world building, and she doesn't explain everything. If you want explanations, you have to go to the glossary, which at this point, while I'm slumping, that is just difficult for me to do. So that also has something to do with it. But I'm very excited to read it because, like I said, this is like the newest popular fantasy book that has come out this year. So I really want to read it. Next challenge. This one. Can you see that? Okay. Random book rec list, first page. I think we recently had this challenge. So let's go to my book recommendations list. For those of you who don't know, I'll have a video linked for you, but basically I have this ongoing list. Every time somebody recommends me a book, it gets added to, recommends me on YouTube or on Instagram. If a book gets recommended, it gets added to my own personal Google Doc. And then anytime somebody else recommends it, it goes higher up on the list. And the first page are the most recommended books that I have not read yet. And I lump series together. So usually on the first page, it's a lot of series that have been recommended over and over again on BookTube and on Bookstagram. So this is the first page. I guess let's do a random number generator. So the first 15 have been recommended over 150 times. That is one of my goals. So preferably, the random generator picks one of those. I have 42 books on the first page. Is that right? Okay. So when I add the numbers, it goes a little bit further on the first page, but that's okay. I'll count those too. So 46 books. Hey Siri, pick a random number between 1 and 46. Okay. Hey, 36. So that is not one of the first. Actually, it's one I have been looking forward to. So it is the Meghan Quinn series, the Meghan Quinn hockey series. I forget the name. Vancouver Agitators. This has been pretty popular recently. It's been recommended 121 times. This whole series has. So yeah, very excited to read it. So of course, I'm going to be starting with Kiss and Don't Tell, which is the first book. This series has 4 books. And then the fifth one is gonna come out this year. This sounds like, the premise sounds very fun. Basically, it's about a girl who was driving and then she got lost, and then a thunderstorm sent her car mudsliding into a ditch. So she stumbles upon a cabin in the middle of nowhere and she knocks on the door for help, and she gets greeted by 5 burly hockey guys, which, yes please. But one of them is her ex-boyfriend's half-brother. So she stays there for the night and things get steamy. It sounds very fun. And like I said, this series is pretty popular. They've gotten like different covers recently. And like I said, I heard a lot about Right Man, Right Time. He's not my type. So yeah, they're excited. Moving on to the next challenge. Okay, what does that say? I cannot even read that. Okay. Owned TBR, published between 2015 and 2020. Okay. Let me think. 2015 and 2020. I have a perfect one. Let me grab it. A book that is on my owned TBR that has been published in 2016 is a book in a series I really want to continue. It's another hockey romance actually, and it's The Score by Elle Kennedy. This was published in 2016. It's the third book in the Off-Campus series, and I really want to continue on with the series. I really want to finish it because I want to get to her newest series, which is a spin-off, which is a next gen. Well, the first book is a next gen from this series. Basically, you follow Allie and Dean De Laurentiis, and Dean has been like the group's playboy. So they have a one-night stand, and she just got out of a long relationship, so she's not really looking for anything serious. So she wants to just be friends. And since she's the first girl who doesn't like immediately fall head over heels for him, he finds her interesting. It's a classic trope, but I'm very interested in this one. I really loved, especially the first one, but I also really liked the second one. So cannot wait to continue on with this series. For the fourth challenge, this one. Previous TBR, that is perfect because there are a bunch of books on my previous TBRs that I have not read yet. I'm gonna go for The Rivalry by Nikki Sloan. This book, I really just want to read. I believe it's one of the books that is on my 2024 TBR. It's a book that has been in a previous TBR jar challenge. I've been so in the mood to read a Nikki Sloan, and especially this one. And it's a standalone, and I just want to get it done. So I'm going to put it on my TBR again, and hopefully this month I'll finally get to it. Okay, the fifth challenge. I already see this challenge, and I'm not looking forward to this one. Read a YA contemporary. I don't read a whole lot of YA contemporaries, so I'm debating. Okay, I'm gonna go with A Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I've read 2 of her books, and especially Clap When You Land was one of my favorite books I read that year. This is one of her books that is not told in verse, so I'm very interested to read a book that is told in prose. And this, even though it is a YA contemporary, she's actually a single mom. So even though she's still in high school, she's a parent. So I feel like that will make it a little bit more mature. So yeah, this is not too long. Only 300, like less than 400 pages, and it feels like a quick read. It has very short chapters. Basically, this is about Imani, and she wants to be a chef, but she's 17 and has a 2-year-old daughter. Now she wants to go, I believe, to this cooking, either competition or cooking school in a different country. I'm pretty sure she lives with her grandmother, I'm sure, and she's like I said, she's a chef, so, or she wants to be a chef. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't planning on reading this book this year, but I'm glad the TBR jar is putting this book on my radar, so I'm very interested to see if I'll love it. So yeah, and I really love this cover. It's very pretty. Okay, so let's go for a 6th challenge. Oops, this one. Random bookshelf. Okay, so I like that. I have 4 bookshelves, and they each have 6 shelves each. So let's just do that. Most of them are double stacked too. So that's 24 shelves. And actually I have an extra bookshelf, but that is for my favorite books. So that shelf, I've read every single book. So, hey Siri, pick a random number between 1 and 24. 4. Let me actually take you with me then. So shelf number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are the books in front. Pretty much all young adult books. It doesn't have any books behind it. So this is the one shelf that doesn't. Let me think which one of these I want to read and I'll get back to you. Okay, I picked A Lot's Away by Darcy Little Badger. So this has been, I've been meaning to read this for a while now. It was a contender for a previous challenge for my TBR jar and it didn't get picked. So I figured, let's just read it now. This sounds like a very interesting book. It sounds like a mix between a couple different things. This is a magical realism story. And you follow A Lot's Away, obviously A Lot's Away, and she lives in a world where magic is real, and she can raise the ghosts of dead animals, which you can see those on the cover. And her cousin has just been murdered in a town that wants no prying eyes, but obviously she is gonna pry. And so it sounds like a mystery. It's obviously a magical realism. It sounds amazing. It's not that long, and I have heard amazing things about it. I believe this is YA as well. These are the 4 books, plus The Rivalry and Kiss and Don't Tell. It's a very eclectic mix. Not a lot of romances. Well, I mean, that's not true. Just like a couple of different genres mixed in as well. I'm not sure if I can get to all of them in July, but hopefully if not in July, then later in the year. So very excited. Aside from these, there are obviously some new releases that I really want to get to. The first one is obviously Play Along by Liz Ford. This is the 4th book in her Windy City series, which obviously The Right Move and Caught Up are a part of that series. And The Right Move was my favorite book of last year. So very excited about this one. This is, I believe, not a direct sequel, but it follows the brother of the hero from Caught Up. So the book before that one. So this is another baseball romance. This is a Married in Vegas story. It sounds very fun. They have been very well set up in Caught Up, so very excited to read their book. Isaiah and Kennedy. And I also really want to read If You Want Me by Helena Hunting. So this is the sequel to If You Hate Me. And if you look at the cover, her taglines seem, in this series at least, seem to be a Taylor Swift lyric. So the first one was Love's a Game, Wanna Play. And this one is But Daddy, I Love Him. So obviously I like that. I've been reading Helena Hunting, like I've read my first Helena Hunting this year, and she's becoming one of my favorite authors. This is a best friend's daughter romance. So you follow Hollis, and he is best friends with his teammate. And his teammate has a daughter called Peggy, and it's that romance. I'm excited about it. Yeah, hopefully I like it. Like I said, I really loved If You Hate Me, even though I know that wasn't everybody's favorite book, so I'm very excited about this one. This actually comes out on the same day that Play Along comes out, so obviously Play Along is gonna be a priority of those two, but I really wanna read If You Hate Me in July as well. So that was basically my July TBR. Hopefully I can read more than that, but I wanna keep the TBR as small as possible. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you've read any of the books that I talked about and what your thoughts were. Also, I would really love to know which books are you really excited for that you want to read in July. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know by leaving a like if you did. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.